In the beginning, everybody's excited. In the beginning, everybody's going to conquer the world. But after a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years, they start to get tired. They start to ask, why is this so hard? They start to ask, why is this so hard for me?
How easy is it to get up in the morning when you know you're not doing all that it takes? It's not very easy at all. You can just lay there awake thinking, oh, what's a few more minutes in bed? It won't matter much anyway. Wrong. It does matter. It will matter. Now, how easy is it to get up in the morning when you're pouring it on, doing the best you can, anxious to get going, make progress toward your dreams? It's a whole different story.
We all feel that way. We all have times of frustration. We all have times of anger. We all have times of why me. When you start feeling that massive frustration, that massive anger, that massive stress, you are about to have a breakthrough. You are about to move through an area that most people can't make it through. And you've just got to keep moving.
When you're resting to renew your reserves, it's much different than resting to avoid your day. When you're psyched up and excited for your life, when you're excited for what you've planned to accomplish for the day, it's amazing. You'll wake up before the alarm clock even tries to startle you awake. Your successes fuel your ambition. Your successes give you extra energy. Your successes pave the way for more successes. It's the snowball effect. With one success, you're excited to meet another, and another, and another. And pretty soon, the disciplines that were so difficult in the beginning, the disciplines that got you going, are now part of your philosophy. How do you know when you're successful? Do you have to be a millionaire? No. All we ask of you is that you earn all you possibly can. God and everything else will see to it that you're okay.
When you keep in mind why you started, when you keep in mind what it is you're trying to accomplish, and you think about them and focus on them a day in and day out basis, your chances of making it through these frustration curves increases tremendously.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you're thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay in it. Stay focused.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game.
But you can choose, in the midst of all of this that's going on, to be happy in spite of life's challenges. See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. Well, guess what? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. We have two primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim. I'm unstoppable. This will not get me down. You've got to make those kind of declarations to yourself.
I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass.
You must have patience and engage in consistent action. We live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where people want instant gratification. They want it right now. No, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's a system that if you work the system, it works if you work it. But make no mistake about it, it's hard. And you are the determining factor. The people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. It's you that you must take personal responsibility to make it happen. It's hard. No, easy is not an option. However, ladies and gentlemen, what you will discover is that it's worth it. Write down 5 reasons of why it is worth it for you to become a diamond, to experience that level of achievement. What is it that will give you the drive? What is it that will ignite the courage in you to get up and come back again and again and again? How is it that you would be able, what reasons that can tap in to that deep down feeling that goes to your gut, that no matter how many times you get knocked down, that you're coming back?
Listen to me, this is how you do it first, over 6-7 years ago, with no money, no human resources, no building, no funding, no support. The first thing we did was we dreamed, we wrote the dream down, we rehearsed the dream, we looked at the dream, we talked about the dream, we slept with the dream, we woke up to the dream, we wore the dream, and now boom, it's our reality. And for some of you, you stop dreaming. You dream for a week and you stop because things around you don't look good. You dream for a month, and when you get hit in the mouth, you quit and you give up. You dream for a while, and when people tell you crazy, and when people tell you stupid, and when people tell you can never get done, you stop dreaming and you go back to knowledge. And I dare you to use your imagination. I dare you when you're broke to use your imagination. I dare you when you're rich to use your imagination. I dare you under every single circumstance. Keep dreaming. Keep looking at your dream. Keep focusing on your dream. Keep going after the dream because that's where true success is.
Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything he put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think. And once you neutralize your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging, and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage? It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. It takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream.
It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again. That when you step into your fears, somebody said that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself, something happens for you. It will enable you to transcend yourself. I used to do door-to-door sales. I was working with another friend of mine, and I was a little boy knocking on the door. Hello, would you like to buy a nice working television set? No money down? No! They slammed the door in your face. And the friend of mine that was working with me, they slammed the door in his face, and I looked back, and he was going to the car. And he sat down, and he said, you go ahead, I'll be here when you get back. Now, he had a mother and father to take care of him. I was hungry. I had to go on. I went to the next door. Went to the next one. No! After a while, I no longer took it personal. And I began to play a game. I said, well, I know there's a yes out here somewhere. And I'm going to keep on till I find it. And I continued to knock on doors. And then somebody eventually would say yes. And I said, are you sure? When you have something you want to do, if you don't develop the courage, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, and other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. That if you don't have the courage to act, life will move on you. I was working on a job, and I came home one day. I was married at the time. I said, that guy Bert I work for is stupid. She said, if he's so stupid, why does he sign you a paycheck? Now, you see why I divorced her, right? That night, I could not sleep well. Here was a guy that was controlling my life because this man controlled my paycheck. And we know scripture that says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth was that I wasn't giving all that I had. The truth was that there are some things that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to act on those things. I started going to work earlier. I started working harder than anybody else. Why would you work so hard, Les? I said, I'm not working for them. I have been cheating, Bert, I thought. I've been cheating myself and my family. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of setting standards that others will be measured by. Someone said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail. And say that where I am, I'm going to do the best. Can with what I got, because that is an expression of who I am. If you get in the habit of giving less than what you have it within you to give, it will begin to reflect itself in your personality. And you don't want to be a part of that kind of self-destructive behavior. And so you want to set some high standards for yourself.
Courage. Ambition requires courage. Ambition requires that you fight off fear. Fear is one of those things, one of those emotions that can stop people dead in their tracks. Fear can stop people from taking all that life has to offer them. Remember the old saying, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. You can be afraid of success. You can be afraid of failure. You can be afraid of the competition. We're not always born with courage. We're not always born with all the fears either. You ever hear of a baby that's afraid of the dark? Of course not. But do you ever hear of a 3 or 4-year-old afraid of the dark? All the time. Where'd they learn that? Well, probably from their parents who decided they needed a night light on. And what about other fears in life? Are they learned? Well, maybe. Maybe some of your fears are brought on by your own experiences, by what someone has told you. Fears, even the most basic ones, can totally destroy our ambitions. Fear can destroy relationships. Fear, if left unchecked, can destroy our lives. Fear is an enemy. One of the enemies that you've got to destroy before it destroys you is indifference, drifting away from your ambitions. Next one, an enemy inside all of us, indecision. It'll steal your chances for a better future. Take sword to this enemy. Next enemy on the inside is doubt. You can't believe everything. But you can't let doubt take over. I'm telling you, it'll destroy your life and destroy your chances and empty your bank account and empty your heart. Get rid of it. Next is worry. We've all got to worry some, but don't let it conquer you. Let it alarm you. Worry is useful. 3 o'clock in the morning, your daughter's not home yet. You've got to worry. But you can't let worry loose like a mad dog that drives you into a small corner. Whatever's pushing on you, you've got to push back. The next enemy inside is overcaution, the timid approach to life. Timidity is not a virtue. It's an illness. Timid people don't get promoted. They don't advance and grow and become powerful in the marketplace. Do battle with the enemy. Do battle with your fears. Build your courage to fight what's holding you back. Do battle. Have the courage to fight back. Here are a few techniques to help build your courage. Number one, don't worry about things you have no control over. Courageous people don't worry about the unlikely, things out of their control. Number two, face your fears before you start something. Make a list of the worst that could happen, and you'll probably see that it's not so bad after all. Once you face your fear, you can move on. And if you've looked at the possibilities beforehand, you'll probably never be faced with the situation at all. And by contemplating what might happen, you'll chart your course to make sure that it doesn't. And the third technique to build your courage is to imagine the alternative. See in your mind the end result of giving in to your fear. Then really feel the gain of following your ambition courageously. See the difference. If you've been invited to address your national sales convention and are scared to death of public speaking, what should you do? Well, you could decline the invitation, or you could take some classes, read some books, and see yourself stepping up to a whole new league, increasing your opportunities for future success. Once again, it's your choice. It all depends on how you can live with yourself, always afraid of taking the next step.
Decide to live your fantasy. The choice is in your hands, satisfaction or despair. Decide not to make your life predictable. You don't get much juice and happiness out of life like that. Want to create a greater sense of fulfillment? Challenge your fears. Don't allow them to rule you.
Humans are the only life form that will do less than they possibly can. Humans are the only life form that will settle for less. Every other life form except human beings strive to its maximum capacity. How tall will a tree grow? Approximately. As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. Trees send their roots down as deep as possible, stretch their limbs up as high as possible. Produce every leaf possible and every fruit possible. As a matter of fact, you never heard of a human physically growing half. We keep growing until we're done. Now that's a part of life we can't control. It's genetically coded. And that's probably why we keep growing till we're done. Because we can't control that part. It's the rest of our growing that we control. The growing of our minds, the expansion of our minds, that we can control. And that's what tends to get away from us. All life forms inherently strive to their max except human beings. Now, why wouldn't human beings strive to their maximum possibility? Here's why. Because we've been given the dignity of choice. It makes us different than alligators and trees and birds. The dignity of choice makes us different than all other life forms. And here's the choice: to become part of what we could be, enough to get by, or to become all that we can be. My best advice for you is to choose the all. Earn all you can, make all the friends you can, read as many books as you can, develop as many skills as you can, see as much as possible, do as much as possible, make as much fortune as possible. Give as much of it away as possible. The max. There's no life like it. I'm telling you, once I got on track, I've never looked back. Pick up the challenge. Go for it. Take the best of the two easies. Take the root of it's easy to get ahead. It's easy to do all you can. It's easy to succeed. It's easy to have financial freedom. The more you do, the more you get.
Credit goes to our awesome patrons who make videos like this one possible. Consider joining them to support our work. You can also support us by subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell button to get notified when our new videos are released. And as always, thank you for watching.